friends, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking in defense of the insta-love trope. That I feel like there was a big surgence of people not liking it. I don't know if people still don't like it to this day. I see it every now and again, and when I first started BookTube, I hated it. Now that I'm at the ripe age of 25, turning 26 in exactly 6 months, things have changed. Things have changed. So let's get into it before I start rambling, because I need to format my SD card soon, and there's only 28 minutes left on this card. But if you guys like this video and want me to do more of these discussions, let me know in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and comment so you guys don't miss out. Let's just get into it. I get it. We all hate insta-love at some point, and I did do some article researches on why insta-love people just don't seem like insta-love anymore, and most of the responses and assumptions, but most of the reasons why is because in this day and age, with all the things that we see on TikTok, on the media, and just from personal experiences, we probably have gotten a little bit cynical to the concept of a love, just love. It's really unfortunate, I guess, in this concept of hookup culture and just what we've seen our parents go through, but we also have gone through the idea of falling in love at first sight or right away doesn't seem to be something that we want to explore anymore, or that we would like. We all want relationships that have a healthy foundation, that have been built healthily, and just progress over time, which is fair and fine and great. And at some point I was there too. I disliked insta-love. I would really, it had to be done really well, and I only had a single pretty strong caveat that happened in order for me to actually enjoy it, and even then, if it was done poorly, I'd probably stop reading the book, or I wouldn't even consider picking the book up. And that caveat was yeah, you can have insta-love, but I needed to develop after that fact. You can't just say, oh yeah, we love each other, and then that's where it ends. You don't communicate, you don't get to learn about each other, it's just there and that's just it. So that was my caveat, and again, that doesn't happen in a lot of insta-lovey books, which is really unfortunate, which is probably why I just have not read insta-love books in a hot minute. Genuinely, what it seems like to me is that insta-love, the concept of it is just making a genuine connection with someone at the first bat, and wanting to continue pursuing that connection and having it flourish and grow. And sometimes it does translate into being insta-lovey because, again, we don't connect the same way that we used to with the rise of social media, with the rise of dating apps, and again, hookup culture. We just don't have those instances where we meet someone at a party and we hit it off right away, and you just connect on a completely different level than you have had with anyone else that you've met recently. And with the rise of the pandemic, it's just it just hasn't been great. But I think from what I have seen, articles, and what I have seen with other instances where insta-love is a thing, it's just a genuine need for connection for another human being that's just very pure and basic, and allows for a lot more room to grow, which I think a lot of people tend to forget when a lot of writers tend to force insta-love in the sense that the characters have no chemistry, they're not growing in any sense or shape or form, but they're together, and they're in love, and they're in love right there then, and we don't know why. So I have come up with five reasons in defense for insta-love. The first reason is that a lot of insta-love tends to happen in YA, and I know a lot of us readers and a lot of us viewers are in our mid-20s by now, early to mid-20s. We are no longer in that teenagery, teeny boppy headspace. But I'm sure if you look deep enough back in there, in your little memory bank of things you don't want to remember, you'll remember that when you were a teenager, you would literally fall in love with anything that had two legs. And if you're like me, you fall in love with strangers by looking at them because they were just really pretty. So the concept of teenagers falling in love at first sight is not that wild or is crazy to me, because teenagers literally fall in love within a week because they have so many intense feelings, so many hormones going through, and again, just that want for genuine connection. And again, they have a lot of time to fantasize on their hands. As an adult, I didn't realize how much I took for granted fantasizing and just daydreaming all day, and they just have all that time on their hands. So it makes sense they would literally just fall in love with someone not knowing them, having been feeling kind of lonely and not understanding where they are in life, to that. Like it just makes sense why teenagers do that. And again, I'm 25. Like I can't say much considering I am like in love with like Chris Evans and Harry Styles. And I have never Harry Styles is a lie. I have breathed the same as Harry Styles, but I have never like physically come up to them and like said my name. College, I would just like meet someone and like feel like we clicked, and I'd be like, yep, I can see myself falling for this person. I can't say anything against Stands to Love because like, again, it's just that I feel like it's just that need for instant connection and like a deep connection. That was my second point, is that I fall in love with people. Point number 3 is that I have just met a lot of people who have like been super enamored with their person, like they're married now at first sight, just super enamored with them, like full on like love story, or literally had like met someone at a party, like their eyes locked in a crowded room and that was it, and like they was like getting pulled, and like it's not unfathomable. In some cases I'd say that like I think I probably went through that when I first met my boyfriend, and we had like our first date lasted for like 6 hours. Like I got home, like we met up, or he picked me up at like 6:30. I didn't get home until midnight, and my mom was like, what were you guys doing for 6 hours? And I was like, literally just talking. We talked for like 4 hours straight, and then we watched a movie. Like it's not an unfathomable thing. Again, and it's just not unfathomable for me to think that like you can meet someone right off the bat and be like super enamored with them, or like just be really like, I need to connect with this person, I need to really get to know this person and have that instant connection and that instant attraction. Like it's not super like difficult for me to really wrap my head around, because I've seen it happen so many freaking times. Like I don't understand what it is in the air. It's like, I don't know if it's like the planets have aligned in that instance, but it just happens, and I don't get it. Like I know people who've been together for like 15 plus years, and that's because they met at like a friend's birthday party and they like knew. I have had friends who like went on a date with a guy and they were like, yeah, that's the guy I'm gonna marry, and now they're married or engaged to be married. Like it's not it's not insane to me to think that people fall in love like right away, or find that attraction and connection like right away and want to like work with it. Point number 4 is insta love makes sense in high fantasy settings. Like instances like high fantasy, there's a lot of like war going on, lots of betrayal, lots of like just changing of venues and like things, and there's just a lot of intense feelings happening. Like you don't know who you can trust, or who you can fall in love with, or who you can really count on, but the people you're bonding with and the person that you've bonded with is the only person who can relate. Like of course you're gonna fall in love with them at first glance, and again, there are a lot of attractive people at balls, and as someone who pines over people she's never met, or back when she was single would like basically fall in love with some cute person that she saw at like Walmart, I can't say that I would not want that I would not be the girl at a ball falling in love with some rando in a mask. And also, like, what's harder for y'all to suspend your belief on? Insta love or the dragons roaming around? Number 5 is also like the soulmate principle. Like I love the concept of soulmates. Like it's taken me a while to get back here, but I love the concept of soulmates, and I love the idea that like people fall in love and get attracted right away. And it makes sense again in fantastical settings, because there's so many like prophecies and everything going on that like, why wouldn't these two people just be destined by the stars or the gods to be together? And then again, what's more difficult for y'all to suspend your disbelief? That some fantastical world's gods or stars were like, yeah, these two people are perfect for each other, or the dragons and the magic system that's like not even comprehensible going around. And I think one series that does the soulmate principle really well is L.J. Smith's Night World. Still waiting on that final book, but I think it does that really well, because we get that instant attraction, that need for the connection, and then we get that build, like you get the need to grow the connection, you get to know the person, and you can decide whether or not you can be with them or not. And then afterwards, like the connection builds and grows, and we get to see just a lot, like then just like, oh yeah, they're soulmates, and it makes sense because they've grown together, and it's just done really well. Overall, I think insta love is a trope that probably won't be going away anytime soon. I kind of hope it doesn't go away, because I enjoy it when it is written really well. And when I mean written really well, I mean in the sense that they just don't shove two main characters together and go, you guys are meant to be together, you guys will fall in love instantly, and there's no chemistry and no actual real reason for them to be together other than the fact that the author, the little like god in the clouds, went, she is the main character and he is the love interest. Smooch. Again, I think it's just all about connection, and how it's written will really determine how that connection blossoms and blooms, and what makes the connection great, and what will make the insta-love not seem so insta-love. Because like literally, Wild Beauty, insta-love. I looked it up, the Red Queen had some insta-love in there, the Bone Witch had some insta-love in there, Blanca y Roja had some insta-love in there. But what made it different was that it was written well, and it wasn't done to where it was forced, and there was chemistry and other things underlying it that made it so they connected. But that is it for this video, guys. So if you guys want me to do more discussions on like tropes and whatnot, let me know in the comments down below. But until next time, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and if not, hopefully your week gets better for you. Stay safe. Bye.